Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back. Valentin here with a review for the game It Takes Two. Now to recap for you guys real quick, It Takes Two is an action-adventure game which features elements from platform games. It's specifically designed for split-screen co-player, which means it must be played with another player either through local or online gameplay. Now, this game features a number of game mechanics from various video game genres over the years, and the gameplay mechanics are connected to the story and the theme of the level. Players have to cooperate with each other and utilize these abilities in order to progress. The game also features a large number of mini-games that are scattered throughout the game within the different various levels. Now, if you've seen on my channel the first impressions video of this game, of me playing about an hour into it, I absolutely loved this game. I thought it was fun, and with my full-on spoiler review, I absolutely had a blast playing this game. It's going to be hard for me to knock this game on anything that it did wrong and to not give it a perfect score, but I'm going to give you guys the rundown, so let's get to it. Now, I've played as both Cody and May in this game. I played it twice, once with my uncle and once with a very good friend of mine. And to be honest, I would probably have played a third, maybe even a fourth. I'm really hoping this game comes out with some DLC, but the point is I played it from both perspectives. This game has about 10 chapters in it, each with a various level. It'll take you probably about 10 to 12 hours to go through, depending on how quickly you can solve the puzzles and how much you want to spend time on the mini games that are throughout the levels. Plus, this game has a bunch of different Easter eggs in it, some very comical, some just fun to see. To give a quick rundown of the levels, when you're fighting the vacuum in the first chapter, it's kind of like a warm-up. That's how I look at it. Just different puzzles, nothing really special as far as tools or weapons go for Cody or May to use. But you're just fighting the vacuum, kind of getting used to how the mechanics in this game work. The second chapter takes you right to the toolbox where Cody will use the nail, May will use the hammer. The next one takes you to the wasp hive where you have to fight off the different wasps, and the pair use honey guns. The fourth one is kind of like a space level. You're fighting moon baboon, and one person is able to change their size. The other person has moon boots, so they're able to walk along walls, upside down, and so on and so forth. It's not every level where you have a weapon or some sort of tool to help each other get through the level, but for example, the toy room, you're just basically exploring all the toys in the room. There's no weapons or anything like that. Getting to Cutie the elephant in the castle. The next chapter of chapter 7 is the clock, and that level is kind of cool because you're able to, so as May, you were able to warp to different parts of the level, whereas Cody could turn back time or turn forward time. The next chapter, chapter 8, was the snow globe, and that was cool thinking back on that one because each player had one side of a magnet, and they had to use that together to progress through the level. Chapter 9 sees you fighting through the garden. This reminded me a lot of Plants vs. Zombies, just fighting off these evil plants, trying to get to the toxic part of the garden to get rid of the weeds, technically. And the last one, the finale, chapter 10, in the attic, where May discovers her passion of singing, and you put on a concert. This game was really, really well done. As I talk about the levels very, very briefly, there isn't one bad thing I can say about this game. To me, it almost gets a perfect score. A couple other things to note, as I said before, there are several different mini games: chess, tug of war, tank wars, spacewalk, laser tennis, bomb run, horse derby, shuffleboard. I want to say there's probably about 25 mini games total throughout this game, and you can go, if you discover them, you can go back anytime and play these games. That's not to mention also the Easter eggs that are out throughout this game. Now, Joseph Farr has set up one where there's one for A Way Out, which is his previous game from years back of two guys escaping from prison. He had a nice Easter egg in there. I also put up an Easter egg of Joseph Farr's notorious speech saying F the Oscars. That one was a little tough to find. You can find that though on my channel if you actually want to see where it's at. They even had a Zelda one, which I'll be putting up on my channel soon. If not before this video, then after. But I thought that was extremely cool because Zelda Ocarina of Time was one of my favorite games of all time to play, so seeing that was just purely nostalgic. When it comes to graphics, story, this game really hit it on all levels. I mean, this is a true co-op game. There are not as many great co-op games, in my opinion, anymore nowadays, and this game really hits it very, very well. A lot of studios, a lot of companies, a lot of creators should really take note on this game and see what a great co-op experience this game truly was. I mean, even though it's not a first person and you're not fighting with guns or killing zombies or whatever it is, it truly is a great co-op game and is, in my opinion, the definition of co-op. I'm really hoping more games come out like this soon because, in my opinion, the co-op games have just lacked, whether it just be 2, 3, or even 4-person co-op. You just really don't see it that much anymore. And if it is done, it isn't done very well. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a nerd. I'm a fan of all games, multiplayer, single player, but co-op is really where it's at for me. So I thoroughly got a huge enjoyment out of this game. So to wrap it up, I mean, this game ran smoothly. There weren't any bugs, weren't any freezes. I mean, I think there was just one time early on to the game when this game first launched where we couldn't log into the servers in order to play, and we kept getting kicked out. I mean, that is really the only complaint I had about it. Sometimes the cutscenes were a bit long, but other than that, the levels were so diverse, so fun, and it just had a great story to it. And the graphics were very well done. The voice acting is very well done. Everything across the board is very well done. As you can see, I'm having a little trouble knocking this game. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Simply for the fact that it's just a blast to play. It does have that replayability. I don't know how much. Like I said, I played it twice. I'd probably play it a third time. If there's more DLC, I'd welcome it. I don't know if there is, but I hope there are plans to make it. The only knock I would say, and they're not big knocks, is that the cutscenes were a little bit too long. One time I couldn't log on. Other than that, I couldn't see it giving any less of a score than a 9, almost close to a 10. I'm really anxious to hear what you guys thought about this game. Have you played it? Will you play it? Are you thinking about playing it? Be sure to leave me your comments in the section below. As far as what's coming next on this channel, I still have to finish up the Medium. I forgot all about that game. Just been busy with a bunch of other games and other stuff going on in my life. But I am going to finish up the Medium, and before you know it, Resident Evil Village is going to be here, and I am really looking forward to that game. So be sure to check out my walkthrough for Resident Evil Village when that comes out, as well as a first impression, and as always, a full-on spoiler review when I'm all done with that game. Until next time, guys, this is Valentin signing off. Take care.